rights?
I don't.
Well then, you're in luck. You're just like most Americans who don't understand key parts of why our government works. Can you name any of the 5 freedoms in the First Amendment?
Oh, I know this one. The right to bear arms.
Not quite. According to the Annenberg Constitution Day survey in 2024, only 21% of Americans can name a single freedom in the First Amendment. That's 1 in 5. 22% misidentified one of the freedoms as the right to bear arms. Why is this, and what can we do to fix it? Let's find out.
Trust in our government is at an all-time low. According to the Pew Research Center, in April of 2024, 22% of American citizens trust the government, most of the time.
This distrust is often not from a dislike of the government's actions, but rather from ignorance. The majority of Americans do not understand how our country works, and thus don't understand what is and isn't a possible solution for issues anytime in the near future.
Civic education is extremely important, especially for younger people registering to vote, so that they can understand how the government works and what can be done to enact the change they wish to see. Some people, such as David Davenport, a research fellow at the Hoover Institution, believe that civic education should begin even earlier than in high school.
We need to have civic education begin in the elementary grades. We essentially have now no civic education taking place in the elementary grades and almost none in middle school. And as I said, you kind of wait till your junior or senior year and you have a single 1-semester course. Well, it's kind of too late by then. The students don't have a vocabulary. They don't have a core understanding of the concepts to really appreciate and benefit from that one course. So the first thing we need to do, I think, is start building the layer cake in elementary school and giving kids what they can learn. And there's quite a bit they can learn in elementary school. Certainly I did in my schooling in Kansas in the 50s and 60s. We had lots of learning about civics and about history that were very helpful. And then we continue to add things that are grade appropriate. So by the time they get to high school, they have a good grounding for taking their civics course. And then in high school, I think we actually need a full year of civics and not just a single semester. And we need more states to require. We still have some states that don't even require the teaching of civics. We need that to be across the board. And we need to move toward a full year course and not just a half a year.
That's a really great point there about how some high schools don't even require a civics class to be taken, much less require a full year. According to the American Federation of Teachers, only 9 states, as well as Washington, D.C., require a full year of civics be taught in high school. 30 states require that 1 semester be taught. The remaining 11 do not require any civic education at all. In our interview with McKinleyville High School civics teacher Drew Riddle, this is what he had to say. Take it away, Riddler.
Do you think that a full year civics class should be required in high school, or do you think less is all right?
I think in a perfect world, a full year of civics would be good. I think maybe a course where you had 1 semester of government, where you understood like foundational things about government, branches of government, positions, et cetera. And then you had another semester that was more kind of focused on civics, like how do we as people interact with government and society and our community. Maybe inherent in that civics portion of the course, there would be some sort of like civic service requirement or like volunteer requirement where students actually got to go out and it was required to go out and like be a part of something, volunteer in some capacity, make connections, meet people, have some sort of service to your community. Because I feel like building that investment early on, people will then kind of have a better understanding of what that means later on as they get older, and they might be a little bit more invested in our community. I think we're kind of missing that right now a little bit. We're very solitary, and I think people just kind of miss the connectedness. How can I be connected to the people in the world around me?
Some people might ask, why is any of this important? No one uses any of this knowledge unless they want to work for the government.
And that's where this message comes in. If you don't know how your government functions, then you don't know how to enact change in your government. So many people think that the government won't do right by them, but they don't have any idea how to make the government do right by them. They don't know how to get involved with their lives. Learn how to contact your representatives, how to sign petitions, and the power your vote has. make sure that the government has your best interests at heart. Because the people up there that don't have your best interests at heart, they like it when you don't know how the government works. It keeps you controllable, and it keeps you oblivious. Your education is a right. Don't ever let anyone convince you it isn't important. So, with all this new information, what do you plan to do?
I'm going to sign up for a civics class now so that I can learn to register to vote and learn about the democratic process, and so that I can know my rights. Besides the right to bear arms, of course.
And that's why civics is important.